Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Schalk Vlok. I'm the executive chef of Babel here at Babylonstoren. And this is my colleague, Stephan Moolman. He's in charge of our R&D, and he's our new innovation chef. And you're joining us today from our bakery for a live cook-along with our seasonal harvest box. And we've accompanied that with a few products from our online store. And we're going to answer a few questions at the end of the cook-along. We're just going to focus on getting the dishes together throughout the video. So if I look down at my phone at the end, that's just to answer a few of your questions. Our community manager is going to send them through to me over WhatsApp, and then I'll answer them like that. So just reserve them for then. So it's all focused around our seasonal harvest box. That is the main thing we planned our 5 weekday meals around. So we wanted to show you can create an entire week's full of meals with one box, and whatever you order with it. So that's your preference, but you can see in your box if you have one at home at the moment, or if you order one within the week or next week. It changes, and it's really seasonal.
It changes daily.
So it changes as products come in, as they're harvested in the morning. It really brings everything of this area together, what we have on the farm and our neighboring farms, which is amazing. So let's see what Gundula harvested for us.
I'm Gundula. I'm a garden Babylonstoren. I've just been harvesting some vegetables for our seasonal harvest box, which Schalk is going to be using. We're very excited about these boxes because we are selling online these seasonal harvest boxes that really changes weekly. You might get radishes this week, but turnips next week, or kale now and then chard the next week. So it's great that Schalk is going to be sharing some tremendous tips and suggestions of how to cook it. But we like these boxes because they're just so fresh. They're nutritious, they're colorful. We've collaborated with some of our neighbors, so we can always bring in other things from the neighboring farms. That really keeps it interesting. And it's a joy. You can be so creative when you receive one of these boxes. One of our winter gems is celeriac, which is a root celery. I think not that many people are necessarily familiar with it, but has a lovely creamy flavor to it and not nearly as intense as celery itself. So this is a beautiful root that one can cook in various ways. And I love the earthy scent that it has. It's quite a marvelous vegetable. What I've been harvesting this week are the tango nachis that are very, very sweet. They're delicious. Of the other fruit, we also have lemons to use. There is, and a treat for this time of year is the blood oranges. As the weather becomes colder and colder, they actually increase in color, the bloodiness of these blood oranges. Chef Schalk will be using lemons in his meals. These are Eureka lemons, which are just very common, but I love coming to the orchard because you can see these deformities in between. This is how organic we grow our lemons here. Probably a little bug came in when it was still in flower. But freshness of the scent of these lemons and just the zesty rinds they have, just a treat in winter time. So some of the other vegetables are the root crops, and we have beautiful beetroot here and some very cheerful multicolored radishes. I feel indispensable in winter is cabbage. We have many different types of cabbages, and I like the way, which is this one, is just listen to this. It's got that really nice crunch about it. These are much more crinkly, so they almost hold the flavorings that you put on it are much easier. And it's this beautiful cabbage, this one. Nice, big, and chunky. One of my favorite vegetables is Swiss chard. It's something that one does get right throughout. Be sucking up all the rain that we've had now in winter time, and it just works so well with just about any dish. Love the greenness and just the iron content that it has. Beautiful. So I'm sending this box, that's Schalk Vlok, full of delectables to the chefs, and Schalk's going to share just the most wonderful treats and what to do with these, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy the cook-along along with them.
Oh, thanks, Gundula, for this amazing harvest box you brought us. So as Schalk mentioned, our boxes change daily. So you might not have the same box as we do, but the recipes you're cooking today is very versatile. So it can be used with your box or our box now, like celeriac we have, for instance, here. You may have some cauliflower or potatoes or leeks, which you're going to make soup today. This celeriac actually has been growing a year in our garden. Amazing product to use. In Afrikaans call it knolcelery.
Ja.
It's a bit Afrikaans, you know. So at Babel, when me and Schalk design a menu, or the whole team actually, we try and focus on the veg, not necessarily protein, and then we pair veg to it as a side dish. So we really want to hero the veg itself. So that's why our harvest box is so amazing to work with, because every single dish on our menu this week heroes the veg. Yeah, so me and Schalk are going to take you through Monday to Friday. We're cooking 3 vegetarian dishes today with protein.
Yeah, and it's really focused on season at the moment.
Yeah, very
so
seasonal, yeah.
What's really nice is you can also see what we work with in the restaurants.
Yeah.
That's the exact menu, exact vegetables we build our menu around.
Yeah, basically.
So the beetroot showcasing on the menu at the moment, we're making a really nice risotto with a celeriac. So all of these things are everywhere around on the farm, and they're just coming through on our menu on a regular basis.
Yeah, so whatever we as chefs use in the goes to you in a box.
Yeah.
So on that note,
let's kick it off.
Meatless Mondays.
Yes. So we planned on a meatless Monday, so a light start to the week. We wanted to use some really simple vegetables, like a beetroot. These are bull's blood beetroot that's growing in our garden at the moment, and we're pairing that with some of our citrus and then some water buffalo mozzarella. Our cheese room actually makes that for us. Alta and her team uses the most incredible dairy to produce some of the best cheese I've probably worked with. It's really easy to actually create a dish around it. And then we've got some blood oranges going with a salad. The variety we're getting in at the moment is Ippolito blood oranges. They've just come into season, and we're really utilizing them a lot on the menu.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd show them to you too. So Stephan's going to start off by making a really easy dressing with some clementine juice, and we actually added a grain to the salad just to make it a bit of a warmer, more wintry salad. So you can use any grain that you have in your house, leftover brown rice, maybe some couscous. We've used some barley, and we've just lightly cooked that. So that's something you can do beforehand, and then we're just going to season it up and dress it.
Yeah,
so let's get going.
So I'm going to show you guys a quick, simple dressing. Clementine juice from our juicery on the farm. I'm just going to add this to a mixing bowl. And I'm going to add some Babylonstoren olive oil. Just a little bit of that. And then I just need to find my honey. Okay, cool. I'm using some fynbos honey. It is fynbos month by us now. It's cool.
Yeah, so the fynbos is featuring all over the farm at the moment. We're using it in the restaurant. We're actually making a really nice sauce with our fish dish at the moment that we infused with some fynbos from the mountains.
Bouillabaisse.
So, a nice little bouillabaisse sauce, but back to the dressing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'll just add some honey now, and then I'll just lightly whisk it. This I'll use to dress the barley with. While I'm doing this, Schalk's busy cutting the blood oranges. And then we'll start plating.
Yeah, so the blood oranges we've just kept fresh, and then the beetroot we're going to just dress with some olive oil again, really simply, and just season with some salt. We've just cooked the beetroot, steamed them, but I mean, I know some of the boxes this week's got some carrots in, it's got some golden glow beetroots in, so you can use whatever. If you're not a big beetroot fan, anything box can also work. It can also work really well with some raw beetroots, but because we want to make a bit of a warmer salad, we thought we'd cook them a little bit. And the salad can actually be a very nice side dish as well.
Yeah, it can. Of course.
If you want to pair this, to maybe some beef or lamb, we've got some lamb on our online store at the moment. This will work beautifully with that. The beetroot's on now. And then, like I said, the water buffalo mozzarella that we get from our cheese room. Just going to use that.
Schalk, what wine would you drink with this dish?
I'd probably say a really ice-cold glass of rosé, or maybe some bitter lacquer. Some bitter lacquer would actually be really nice in the dressing as well. And that's also all available on our online store. So I've added the buffalo mozzarella now. We're just going to dress that up with some olive oil again. And then lightly season that. And then Stephan can just finish with his barley for us. Maybe just add some lemon zest to that.
Yeah, lekker. So I'm going to use this lemon.
So just some lemon zest. Once again, bringing in whatever we can use in the box. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
no
about
waste.
the juice, or it's not just about the center of the celeriac, or maybe if you're using the cabbages, for instance, it's not just about sauteing it or cooking it. You can really do something that heroes the dish. You'll see later on what we do with them. It really brings out the vegetable for what it is.
Yeah, yeah. And we use everything from the
Yeah.
root to the top. So,
That's a really nice simple salad. And then we're just going to finish that with some flowers. We've got some. It is winter at the moment, but we do have some really nice flowers on the farm. Probably know these. These are just normal nasturtium flowers. It adds like a very nice peppery note, and then some fresh dill as well. In the harvest box, you might get some coriander. There's parsley in season, so it might change up. There's also some sage in season. So some fried sage would go really well with this dish as well. And that is our simple Monday night salad. Just a light start to the week. Ice cold glass of rosé. Pretty much perfect.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Okay, what's next?
Yeah, so next
Tuesday.
is our celeriac soup for Tuesday. We wanted to do a soup, but we didn't want to do like a heavy soup for the week. So we thought we'd hero our celeriac. It's something really special for us. And there's also some cauliflowers in the boxes. This can work perfectly with that. It can work perfectly with potato and leek soups. Amazing. And that we're going to pair with our rooibos rye and some tango nachos.
Yeah.
That's in season. That's also in the box. Like I said, you'll probably see a lot of citrus coming through on the menu or coming through on the dishes throughout the week. But Stephan's going to talk you a bit through how to make a soup base, and then also how to make a veg stock. Once again, just utilizing all the odds and ends that comes in your box. The harvest box brings in really whole vegetables, so it's maybe not something that you haven't seen beetroots with large tops on, or celeriacs with roots and tips and everything included, and all these things add to a dish. And we see it as something with a lot of potential. So he's going to quickly take you through how to make a very simple vegetable stock, and then how to make a really, really easy soup. No fuss.
Yeah, simple soup.
Yeah, correct.
Not a lot of ingredients in the soup. And then we're showcasing the hero of the soup is our celeriac, as I showed earlier. So over here, I've cut it already. So celeriac gets peeled. I keep the peels one side. That will be used for our next dish. It looks like this when you cut it up. I added some leeks and garlic. So I'm just going to go over to this side, to my pot. Sit now. Just going to heat it up a bit. And then I'm just going to put in some olive oil. I'm also going to lightly saute the veg. Let's get some flavor out. And then while I'm doing this, I'm going to explain to you guys our veg stock. Very easy to make. So all the trimmings you have left, the celeriac tops especially, anywhere else, we're all going to use them somewhere else, gets put in a big pot. We like to cook veg stock from cold water.
Yes, yeah, we started cold. A lot of recipes will call for a bunch of different techniques, but we find cold just extracts the best of what the vegetable has to offer. And I think you used some yellow beetroot in that one, actually.
Yes. So the color from this, we had some yellow beetroot trimmings left from the restaurant. We have a nice dish on there. So that's why the color is a bit yellowish. So we use all the offcuts for the veg stock, whatever off trimmings we have. We try in the restaurant as well to not waste so much of the product we get from our goal. So we try and utilize everywhere we can, even if it's in a simple stock. So this is going nice and well, caramelizing, nice and sauteing.
No, it's not a difficult soup. It's not something that's really processed.
Yeah, it's a simple soup, simple flavors.
Yeah, and it can be made with anything. I mean, potato and leek would be great.
Amazing.
Fennel would be great with the celeriac. Leek and fennel would be great. That's also in the box at the moment.
Just have to start off with a proper veg stock.
Yes, yeah.
And a proper veg stock's easy to make with all your trimmings. Okay, so that's lightly sauteed. Just going to add all my veg stock. Or just to cover it, basically.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll let this simmer for about 20 minutes until all the celeriac is soft.
Can I finish cooking it?
Yes,
on the fire?
sure. Scott's got the fire for me. And then so we're doing a live event here. We pre-cooked a few things. So the soup after 20 minutes, everything is soft. You're going to blend it. You're going to have an end product like this. So amazing soup's been blended. Yeah, nice cold white celeriac soup.
Yeah, and it's
Plain and simple.
You can
plain and
blend it
simple.
with a food processor, or if you cut the celeriac small enough and the leek small,
Just
you
serve
can
it as is.
you can serve it as is.
Yeah. Cool, perfect. Okay, Schalk, what are you up to?
Now, so we're going to serve the soup with just some lightly grilled rooibos rye. Stefan, if you would just bring the soup over to this side,
Yeah,
we're going
sure.
to plate it up
Perfect.
over here. And then, yeah, like I was saying, the rooibos rye is just lightly grilled over the fire. We're actually in our bakery at the moment. And here they bake the most amazing breads. Something that they bake that's really special is a bread that they make with a rice starter and some of our own rooibos from the farm. We're just lightly cooking that over the fire just to get it warm. Then we're actually cooking the tango nachos over the fire as well, just to make it even sweeter, and that adds a little bit of sweetness to the dish. Amazing creaminess to it. So you need something to complement it, but also break it.
Yeah.
That's actually why the Chardonnay, our Babylonstoren Chardonnay, works
That'd be
perfectly
amazing,
with soup. It pairs really, really nicely. So if Stefan's going to plate that up for us, and then I'll come over with the rooibos rye and the tango nachos. And we can maybe finish it with some yogurt, some water buffalo yogurt, just to add some acidity and just break the soup a little.
Jo, trek baie lekker hoor. Okay, Schalk.
Yeah, I'm on my
Soup
way.
is in. How's the toast looking?
Yeah.
Lekker.
You can plate these up. So once again, just using the vegetable whole, we're just going to season them up a little. So grilling the fruit actually brings out a lot of its flavor, and something you wouldn't have tasted before. Because it's got so much sweetness, it caramelizes very nicely. So you can also finish it with a little bit of honey, just to bring in some of those fynbos flavors again. But yeah, this is a really nice, easy soup. It's not complicated, and it goes really well with the ingredients you do have in your box at the moment.
Good, chef.
Yeah, you can bring over the bread.
Lightly toasted rooibos rye.
Oh, they've got an amazing selection of breads on the online store, so anything will work with it. You can do some sourdough and any of the fruit. I mean, if you're not a big fan of fruit in the soup, you can also add something like some crispy leeks that's in the box at the moment, or just some shaved fennel. It's just basically to add some texture to the final product. And then, yeah, that's Tuesday sorted. So then there's 2 meals down. We've used quite a bit of the product, but it just shows you we've basically used beetroot, 2 of the citrus, and celeriac, and that brings everything together in 2 simple meals that's just centered around vegetables.
Yeah.
I'm just going to move it up a little bit. There we go. Now on to Wednesday, another vegetarian meal.
Oh, we like cooking vegetarian, eh?
Yeah, I think
Well,
it
forget
really
product
heroes
like
a
this.
dish. Yeah,
Of course.
So we wanted to do another vegetarian dish, but also add a protein to it, just to show you that the meals can have a little bit of protein. The soup, for instance, can go really well with some crispy charcuterie that we also have, that we make in-house in our meat room. And the Wednesday dish is based around Savoy cabbage. So brassicas are in season at the moment on the farm. So there's a whole bunch of kale, there's a lot of Savoy cabbage, there's red cabbage, there's Chinese cabbage.
Yeah,
All
cabbage,
of these things are in season. So you might have a completely different cabbage to us, but same process, everything is just done exactly the same as we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So these are our Savoy cabbages that we get on the farm. They come in massive heads, but they're the most amazing texture. We really like working with them,
Yeah,
and
it's the best,
we're actually making a dish with that on the Babel menu as well. And then we're pairing it with another sauce made from the yogurt. So just to show you that if we're using yogurt in one dish, it will spill over to the next. So you don't have to use your entire container of yogurt or your entire container of buffalo mozzarella. You can spill it over into the rest of the week. So Stefan's going to talk you through the sauce he actually made. It's something really, really cool. It's focused on no waste as well. Oh, and we're actually playing around with the recipes, and we thought, why don't we add this and just taste it? And it worked.
It worked, yeah.
Yeah.
So as Schalk said about the yogurt going over, you don't have to use the whole thing. Recipe next for will call for it. The same I did with celeriac. So the soup I blended and I used the head and then the roots I used in the stock. So the skins I kept and I made a nice remoulade or just a yogurt sauce with some fresh herbs. So I used a little bit of this yogurt. I finely chopped celeriac and then mixed some herbs through it, seasoned it up with some blood orange zest and lemon zest. Just a little bit of lemon juice. So I think it pairs well with the whole cabbage dish.
Yeah.
And if you want to add some smoked trout to it.
Yeah, we've added smoked trout because we have it available and you can order it from us at the moment, and we think it pairs well. So I think the whole breakdown of all the dishes are that they just a base for you guys to play with. It's really just about inspiring you to work with the product as a whole, so that you can add whatever you want. You can add trout, you can add crispy charcuterie. If anything needs to change, it is very easy to manipulate the dishes.
It's versatile.
It's just built around what's in season, nice citrus, good seasoning, really nice acidity, things like that.
We don't manipulate the product so much.
No.
We keep it simple.
No, so the cabbages, all that we did with them is we just lightly grilled them, and then that's going to be your end product. So we've cut them into wedges. You can do it with the smaller cabbages as well. So these are the ones that I know are in some boxes. They're also amazing. A half of that would also work perfectly in this dish, and it's a really nice portion size too.
Yeah.
So we've cut them into wedges and we've grilled them lightly just to give us a really nice charry flavor, just to bring through that it's a more meaty texture. When you start cooking the vegetables, if you cook them in water or in stock or something, it sometimes waters down the actual flavor.
You lose a lot of nutrients.
Yeah. So we try and cook it as little as possible and maybe grill it or smoke it or just lightly dress it, something that enhances it at the end of the day. So Stephan, you can plate us up the sauce and then we'll finish this dish.
So this remoulade or yogurt sauce is set a little bit, I see. Don't stress about it, it's just the celeriac and the herbs.
No, it's the acidity that's basically making the yogurt set. It almost turns it into a little bit of a cheese, so it adds a nice texture.
It's nice texture, yeah. Here we are.
This is also a nice dish for Chardonnay, actually.
It is.
It'll pair really well with the Chardonnay.
Family fish.
Yeah, it's really nice with the smoked trout, cabbage.
Bobek. Nice.
Oh, just lightly season it again. If you want to, maybe just hand me a lemon there, Stephan, so I can finish it. But these lemons are Eureka lemons. I actually think Gundula spoke about them a little. And that is our lemons on the farm. They are incredible. We use them in almost everything.
Basically,
It really freshens up any dish that we're busy creating. It really brings just a really it breaks that heaviness. I think in winter, people tend to cook a little bit heavier and a little bit more hearty, and I don't think that's always necessary. You can still have that feeling, but just lighten up the dishes with the right amounts of acidity or seasoning at the right times. So I'm going to just add our cabbages into the dish.
Oh, Schalk looks nice, eh?
Oh, this can also be a really nice side dish, maybe on a braai over the weekend.
People overlook veg, actually, eh? If you look at the produce we have here now.
It doesn't have to always be cooked, in water or boiled down. So we're going to add some smoked trout to the dish. I don't think the yogurt's necessary with the sauce at the bottom. And then some olives and almonds is the final product we're going to add to it. The almonds are non-Pirelli almonds. That's also grown here on the farm. And then the olives are Kalamata olives. That's also from us. And that's just going to add some brininess. Just pick up the acidity again. And once again, the almonds are just going to break that very one-tone texture. So it's just going to bring in a nice nutty flavor. There we go.
Pop it on here.
Yeah.
That's what ons karel.
And then just finishing with some olive oil again. Maybe some fresh herbs.
We have some dill left.
think we wanted, yeah, we wanted to add some nasturtiums to this as well.
Oh, bring some color in.
Yeah. So a really nice sharing dish. Just be popped down in the middle of the table. You can make much the same dressing as we made with the beetroot salad at the beginning. Something that would be really nice with this is some apple as well.
Yeah, fresh apple.
Yes,
fresh
that'll
apple,
be really good. Some kale, anything like that.
Yeah.
Anything in the brassica family or the leaf family will be really, really nice. Oh, that's starting to look good.
Oh,
Nice, easy dish. Nothing's taking long. Nothing's overcomplicated. It's really just hearing the product. John, that's Wednesday done. Another vegetarian dish. We've added trout, but you can keep it vegetarian, and you can even replace the sauce at the bottom maybe with some sort of nut product. If you make a nut butter or something like that, you can keep it vegan.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Wednesday done.
Yeah, Wednesday's done. Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
So
Let's
we've
go.
moved on from the vegetarian dishes, and we've thought we'd bring in some proteins. We have the most amazing meat on our online store available as well. So Stephan's going to bring
enough of vegetables. Well, obviously we're cooking more vegetables, but we've done 3 vegetarian dishes. So we'll be doing some hoenderbraai and slaai.
Yeah, so we wanted to showcase the vegetables in another fresh way, but add some protein to it, just to show you that how easy it is to use the vegetables and add a simple protein cooked really easily, and the whole dish just comes together then.
Yeah.
So Stephan's going to talk you through a little salad he's going to make. Also a very nice thing to do with the product at the moment is everything doesn't have to be cooked.
Yeah.
The fennel that comes in the box, the radishes, all these things are very nice eaten raw. It's very nice
It's
eaten
actually
cold.
the best eaten raw.
Yeah. And serving them fresh and just lightly dressed is sometimes the best way. So I'm going to just lightly cook the chicken over the coals. I'll show you the end product, but we're going to dress it with some olive oil, season it with some salt, and then we made a light dressing with just a little bit of soy sauce, fynbos honey, sesame seeds, and a little bit of chili. But that can also be done very easily with some clementine juice, anything,
Even
your
the butter
favorite
like
sauce
that,
with your chicken. Yeah, it can just be glazed up. So I'm going to carry on with that, and then Stephan's going to talk you through his little salad.
Okay, so yeah, I've just got some freshly shaved fennel. I like to keep it in ice cold water. Same with radishes, also ice cold water. And then some of our fresh garden leaves, which also comes in the box. Simple salad yet again. Very simple. I'm just going to take some shaved fennel, some radishes. You see I've got some sliced and quarters, and some of the tops are off, some are on, doesn't matter. And just some fresh leaves. Just going to lightly dress this with some olive oil. Season it a bit. Oh, maybe put some lemon zest in. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, that will be nice.
Yeah, man. So I'll just put some lemon zest in. Nice fresh salad with your chicken on a Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean,
That can also be done with some golden globe beetroots, some shaved golden globe beetroots. We've shaved the vegetables with a mandolin, but it can really easily be done with a bread knife.
Yeah.
Actually, we sometimes do that in the restaurant too. And I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly cut. I think the main thing with a salad is you just need really good seasoning, great olive oil, and you just need to dress the salad well with enough acidity.
Yeah, something acidic.
Yeah. So I'm going to get the chicken for us.
Ek gaan slankie slide plate.
So that'll be the end product that you're left with. So the chicken's just been lightly glazed up. I'm just going to set it aside to rest a little bit.
Cool.
And then we're going to dress the plate. So the chicken's coming to our online store soon, so that you'll also be able to order. But this can be very easily replaced with some lamb as well, that we have available at the moment. I mean, anything actually goes well with salad.
Yeah, definitely. Nice, easy light meal. So yeah, I'm just going to add some nasturtium leaves. So we used the flowers earlier. I like using the whole plant. So we picked the flowers and we decided, maybe use this as garnish.
Yeah, and it's all over. I mean, it's overlooked, I think.
It is, yeah. And it's actually got amazing flavour.
It's a leaf that a lot of people don't think you can use, but it really does add a lot of nice pepperiness to a dish. And then we're just going to finish with some fresh avocado. That's also available
Like a
to
nice
order
big
from us.
blob.
Yeah. Yeah, something. What wine did we say we would like to pair
I
with
think
this?
Viognier actually should be nice with this.
Yeah, nice
So
and creamy.
I'm actually having a nice glass of Viognier here now. Yeah, Vionier's so amazing with this.
Yeah, so just big scoops of avo, nothing complicated, nothing overthought. I mean, we're probably putting these dishes together, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to cook it from scratch, it'll take 15 to 20 minutes a meal. It's really not going to take that long. And then what we also thought of is while we were planning the dishes, it really helps if you know what you're going to cook.
Yeah,
So
plan ahead, yeah.
it was so easy for us because we sat with a harvest box and we opened our online store and we kind of looked what we had available and we could plan the whole week ahead of time. So if you place an order and all of these things arrive together and you set them out like we do, your whole week's planned. It's not worrying about what to pair when. So you can just dress this avo for us with a little bit of lemon juice again.
Lekker.
Or I've got a lemon here by me.
Nice van dressing.
Maybe some seasoning.
Yes, ja. It's like amazing.
Oh, just a nice fresh
Fresh.
meal again.
There's nothing wrong with
Popped in
avos.
front of in the middle of the table, and then just a nice bread with that, nice glass of Viognier, and that's your Thursday sorted.
Thursday sorted, nice and easy.
Yeah.
Chicken, dry and sly. Okay. Okay, Schalk, now we're on to Friday. So Friday for us.
Everyone's favorite day of the week.
Friday, hey?
Yes. So we wanted to do a braai, definitely,
Yeah, definitely.
but we wanted to try and show you guys the main component of this dish actually revolves around the waste and what ends up being not used in the box.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes there are a few things that aren't utilized, and we just wanted to show you that nothing that gets trimmed off the vegetable ever has to get discarded.
Yeah, yeah, you
if it
can
doesn't
always
go
use it,
into
yeah.
vegetable stock, it can always get used again.
Yeah,
So Stephan's going to talk you through that. We're going to use, just after I explain the meat, we're going to use some Bonsmara ribeye. We've got that available on our online store as well at the moment. It's really, really good quality meat. We've served it in the restaurant as well. And we're just going to lightly grill that over coals, dressed in olive oil and nice salt. And I think the main thing with steak, if I could give any advice, is probably resting time. So we've grilled some ahead of time and they've been resting for a good amount of time.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people sometimes
Miss
or get wrong.
Yeah.
I know I also struggled with that thought, my steak's cooling down, my
Yeah,
steak's
yeah, it's
cooling
gonna
down.
get cold, yeah.
But really, just
It's worth
give
it,
it
yeah.
half the time you're cooking in resting time. It really makes a massive difference. We're just going to finish the steak with some fresh herbs and then some salted farm butter. That's
Yes.
also made by us on the farm.
I see you have some in the pot there. What's going on?
Yes, yeah. So the sauce that we paired the dish with is just a little bit of clarified butter. So we just cook the butter down until it basically splits.
Yeah.
And it becomes a sauce that we're just going to add a little bit of texture in by adding some non-Pirelli almonds again. Once again, you've used it on the cabbage dish, so we're
Whatever's
adding it
left,
into,
yeah.
we've crushed up what's left and we're adding it into the sauce. So it's just reusing that product that doesn't end up on a plate once again.
Just use it. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you can tell them about,
Oh, the salad, yeah.
Yeah.
So this salad's all our off-cut trimmings from the whole box. So in here we've got fennel, we've got celeriac tops, we've got some of the celeriac roots. There's some Savoy cabbage leaves that Schalk earlier, big cabbage, you just kind of wanted a small one like this. All the leaves came to the salad. Some of the off-cut radish pieces from the previous dish. So this I'm just going to lightly saute in a pan and we're going to serve that with a steak. Good?
yeah, sure. So that's basically your greens.
Yeah, so it's, people kind of overlook it because it looks messy, but it's still the same product we use the whole menu through. And this usually just gets thrown away. So why not just
utilize it.
Steak,
Yeah,
It's
utilize it. No, it's the odds and ends that
Yeah, and there's
sometimes
some radish
gets
tops
overlooked.
as well,
Oh, there's radish tops that you've used in your menu. There's fennel that you've used in your menu
Yeah, so
throughout all your meals. So let's. I'm going to bring the steak over, and I
Perfect.
think you're going to finish the greens.
Yeah,
so?
I'll finish the greens
Alright.
quickly.
Right.
Oh, billboard.
Yep.
Amazing.
So the Bonsmara ribeye, like I said, it's just been cooked over the coals, and then we've just rested it in some butter again. We've just glazed it up with some thyme. Any fresh herb can work, any hardy herb. We've tied them up just so that we can get a little bit more of an even cook on it, but that's really not necessary. Just going to cut these strings off.
Schalk, I saw you tying this earlier. Just explain to me why, please.
So it's basically just to get a more even cook on the steak. It's really easy. It's not a difficult knot or anything.
Okay.
It's just to get the steak to cook evenly. It's not necessary either. I mean, if you're frying at home, it's really easy. So I'm going to plate up the steaks while he's sauteing off our greens for us. Once again, this can be done with some of our lamb that we have available. This can be done with a cabbage dish as well. I mean, using the cabbage as your main form of a protein can also work. Yeah. And then I'll just set my sauce aside to just rest a little bit. Just for the butter to cool down just a tiny bit. I don't think steak and meat of this quality needs to be smothered in any hot sauces or anything like that. So just a simple sauce. Yeah, and that's all your odds and ends cooked off into a really nice saute of greens. Now Stephan's just going to finish that with some lemon juice for us. And it's really not overcomplicated. It's really not anything fancy.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, this is how we cook at home as well.
Ja,
good.
Okay. Jo, lekker.
Yeah, it's not necessary to be restaurant food. It's not necessary to be anything like we create at Babel, or I mean, it's really simple meals just based around the product.
But the product has to be good.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to get definitely in these boxes. And then I'm just going to finish it with some of our sauce. You can see I just added the non-Pirelli almonds to there. And what did we say? The Babel red with this?
Yeah, definitely. Babel red. Babel red, yeah, definitely.
I think that'll pair perfectly. If you just want to season it for us, maybe. Yeah. I think that's the last thing it needs.
Schalk, it's looking...
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I can just pull them all together here so you guys can see exactly what we cook. Grab the soups. There we go. Cool. Yeah, and that's all week done. So I think I'm just going to quickly recap on what we cooked just before we answer some questions. So we started off Monday with Meat-Free Monday. That was our beetroot salad, a warm salad of cooked barley, buffalo mozzarella, fresh herbs, and blood oranges. Tuesday, we went on to make a nice simple soup. The soup is a celeriac soup, using as much of the vegetable as we can, making a really flavorful veg stock. That's over here. And then on Wednesday, we did another vegetarian dish, which is the cabbage. We've added some trout. Obviously, then it's not vegetarian, but you can leave that off. Yeah. We utilized some water buffalo yogurt there, fresh Kalamata olives, and some texture with our non-Pirelli almonds. Yes. Then we went on to Thursday, which was a really simple cooked chicken. That's over here. We've paired that with a really fresh salad, just dressed lightly with some olive oil, some seasoning, and some fresh avocado. And then we finished the week with our amazing Bonsmara steak.
Plain and simple.
You know, plain and simple. Served with our sautéed greens, if you can call it that. But I mean, that's what it is. Yeah, that's the accumulation of the week's cooking. It's really not necessary to throw it away. Store it in a nice container in your fridge, and then at the end of the week, see what we can do with that. Yeah. Even if you just add it into stock, then. Exactly. Yeah, and that pairs really well with our Babel red wine. We said we're going to pair our beetroot salad with our rosé and our bitter lacquer. We said we're going to pair our soup with our Chardonnay, just to balance out that creaminess. And then Wednesday we said we're going to also Chardonnay. And then Friday we're going to finish, or Thursday,
Veneer. Nice veneer, yeah.
Yeah, really nice veneer. And then Friday we're gonna finish with our Babel.
Yeah,
Our
definitely.
Babel red wine.
Finishing
Oh.
strong on Friday, yeah.
Oh, so that utilizes every single ingredient in the box.
From
That's
root to top.
yeah, from root to tip. That's how we cook in the restaurant as well, and that's what we focus on the most. That's what we
course,
try and really bring through in our philosophy, and that's how we think as chefs as well.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we can answer some questions. I think we have some time for that now.
Your phone's going
Yeah,
off that
I'm going to
side.
get some questions here. So if I look down, I'm just looking at the questions. So we got one here asking, we eat with our eyes and these meals looking fabulous. Could you give some tips for plating up to make one's dish look appealing for guests?
Plating.
Yeah, I don't think plating needs to be too fussed about. I mean,
No,
I think you
not-
guys
not
saw
even.
with how we cooked and how we plated up. It's just natural.
Yeah, it has to fall on the plate. Don't
Yeah, and I
eat
don't-
too much or don't move it around too much. Just if
Yeah.
it's there, it's there. Salad's there. Laat hom wel lê.
Yeah, and hassle-free plating, just making the product shine and stand out. I think that's the main thing when you're plating up any type of food. Just don't smother it or cover it in anything. Just let it really show off how it looks. Show it off in its whole form.
Of course,
Try and show that you've used tips and roots and leaves. That's probably the easiest way of making things look good.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice spread.
Let's see
Can I
if
find
I-
a fraud or Schalk?
let's see.
Can I take this chicken off? Otherwise,
So maybe this
burn.
is one for you, Stefan.
I'm listening.
Stefan's pretty much obsessed with celeriac at the moment.
yeah, I am.
So
I am.
this one says, never heard of celeriac before. Is there another way to enjoy it besides in a soup?
Yeah, there is actually. So I'll be with you in a second. I'm just taking off Schalk's chicken.
We're actually using it in the restaurant at the moment in a risotto.
Yeah.
So we make it a lot. We make it
We make it
much the
pure.
same as the soup actually.
Yeah, so we'll start off with a puree, like we make with the soup. Then we'll just add it to our risotto base. The thing I like to do is I cut little small cubes and I pickle them. And then I can use that in a salad or wherever you want some acidity in a dish for something else
Yeah.
like a veg.
Yeah, it's really versatile. I think it's got a very nice creamy texture.
It does, yeah.
And
You cook it, yeah.
yeah, and it pickles well, it ferments well, it's
Yeah.
got great texture, it's got a really nice smell, and it's something that, like the question said, not everyone's heard of, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
something you
it's-
can wow
it's-
someone
it's
with.
something different. I mean, if you look at this,
Yeah, it looks
terrible.
weird, yeah.
It's like a...
Yeah, it's
Zeepka, yeah.
totally different. It's
Yeah.
something it's a year old, so it takes a year to get to this size.
Yeah,
And we definitely said this needs to come to Babel.
yeah.
So if you want to see how we use it in a risotto, you're more than welcome to come have lunch or dinner with us. We
We've got a
use
nice
it-
pickling recipe for you guys if you want.
yeah. So that's the way we'd use it.
Yeah.
But play around with it. I mean, there's nothing right or wrong to do with the vegetable. It
Nothing,
can really be manipulated into pretty much anything,
Yeah.
even just into like a simple roast veg.
Amazing roast
Yeah,
veg,
it makes really
yeah.
nice chips too.
Yes,
If it's
yeah.
sliced very thin, it
Deep
makes
fried.
really, really good
Or you
chips.
can just dry it out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see if
So
there's.
I hope
any-
that answers the celeriac question.
I'll answer this one. It's what ingredients did you use in the glaze for the chicken? So the chicken was just glazed in some of our fynbos honey, some sesame seeds, chili, garlic, and soy sauce. So that is also one of our go-to glazes, if I can say that. It's really simple. It adds really nice flavor and it caramelizes well. I think
Nice
if you're
colour of the
eating
chicken, yeah.
something that's this fresh and that's this light, you want something that has enough flavor to stand up to it, because even something like a salad can really overtake something quite easily.
Yeah.
So the chicken, it's just a balance, saltiness from the soy, a little bit of heat from the chili, some freshness from the garlic, and then just to finish with our fynbos honey to make it nice and sticky.
Yeah. Lekker man. Next question, Schalk. Yes,
Yeah, maybe this one. Do you keep the beetroot skin on while steaming?
So in the restaurant, it's not a technique, but we like to do it that way.
Maybe you can
Schalk-
show them.
Schalk's very adamant about this. We need to wrap this whole entire stem in foil. I don't
Yeah.
know, it works. So we do it in a restaurant. We cover this whole top with foil. The skin stays on when we steam it. Just easier, if you want the skin on, it can stay on, but it's easier to peel it when it's cooked.
Yes.
So you're not gonna get your hands all red and stainy
And once again,
tricky.
there's no waste if you cook it whole.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you take the skin off, then you lose a lot less of the actual vegetable.
Of course, sure.
When you peel it with a peeler or with a knife, you sometimes cut away a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And
And
the
it looks unnatural. if you
Yeah,
do
it just
like
looks
that,
a little bit too worked. And we served it with the skin on.
Yeah, we did.
So it doesn't even have to be peeled afterwards.
So if you want the skin on, keep it on. But if you want it off, steam it. Comes off easily.
Yeah, it's really something that can, with all the vegetables.
Actually,
I mean,
no.
I don't think you need to actually peel anything before you cook it, or
No, not really.
and if you do, see where you can utilize that skin again. I mean, we've made some amazing beetroot salt. You can also order that online. That we make with skins that we juice, and then we mix it through our salt, and we dehydrate the salt again to get this beautiful, like, purple pinkish salt.
Oh,
I know I've made bath salts with my mom with some of these products, citrus
Amazing.
skins,
butter.
beetroot skins. Yeah,
Amazing. Cool.
it's really, you can play around with it.
So it's not just useful in the kitchen. You use somewhere else as well.
Yeah. So here's one. How do you serve bitter lacquer in Babel?
That's for you, Schalk.
Yeah, so we serve it as a aperitif at the beginning. We serve it with a little bit of rosemary. We think that complements it really well. And it really does start off a meal really nicely. So
Yeah, it does,
you'll
yeah.
always get offered that at the beginning of your meal. And it's just a nice way to open up your palate. It's got a really nice neutral flavor. And anything on our menu that you start with really pairs well if you start that off with
With the
bitter
lacquer,
lacquer. Yeah. Cool. All right. Next one.
Next question.
What's a highlight for you on the new Babel menu?
Oh, wow.
That's hard. So, this menu, I think pretty much everything's.
Yeah, I'd say
highlight.
everything is highlight. Cliche.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If I had to choose a dish at the moment
Yeah,
we're
pick
doing
one.
now, it's our broccoli dish with the kimchi.
Sure, that's interesting. And
It's a bit different.
I probably think the yellow beetroot dish is my favorite. I think we do a very nice yellow beetroot dish
Golden
with
clove, eh?
nasturtiums, and we make a satay sauce with some of our nuts from the farm. But what was really nice to me is the nasturtiums grow right next to the yellow beetroots, and
Oh,
that's
the
how
same
we
block,
thought
yeah.
of that dish.
Rotation
We saw them next to each other, and we thought, let's put them next to each other on a plate, and it just worked.
and it kind of
So
looks like
it
a
really,
plating
like,
as well.
you know, that hit us hard, and we thought what grows together goes together really actually makes sense.
Goes together.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Cool. Next
Yeah.
question.
There's not any other questions at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's. If there's any other questions,
Yeah,
you guys
I'll
are
be
more
here.
than welcome to ask that, and we'll get back to you on them. Please feel free. And I think that was a really, really nice, quick breakdown of what you can do with our harvest box, the amazing product that you can get into your own home, prepare it simply, and really just explore and be inspired by the ingredients. Don't try and overthink it. Don't try and think of the recipe too much. Just really try and take an ingredient as it is and showcase that on the plate.
Yeah, and hero the veg rather than hero the protein.
Exactly, yeah. And I think
I
that
mean,
was,
if I get a box like this, it's amazing.
yeah, it's
It's a veg.
inspiring.
It's inspiring, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really
The steak
inspiring.
is, I mean, it's amazing to eat a piece of steak, but I'll grill a piece of cabbage next time.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they look so good together. I think it really shows the season. It shows the whole box. And I really hope you guys enjoyed what we had to show you guys today. It was really fun for us.
Oh, can we have a cheers then?
Yeah, I think let's cheers and
There's
let's
some nice
taste the
food here
food.
at the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
At least taste the food. Yeah.
Great. Thanks so much, guys. We really appreciate you joining in, and we'll see you next time. Farm greetings.
Cheers.